Hello and welcome to the simple formula that will get you known and bring you oodles of clients willing to pay you magical money. That's what it's all about. Of course, you're in here as a coach and change maker to obviously transform the world. That's where you are, but we want to be financially rewarded for it as well. And of course, that's bringing in clients. Okay, so I'm doing a bit of a juggling act here. So let me know in the comments if you are joining me at the front, and hopefully I'll be checking my phone to check comments as well. Hopefully they'll show up. Alrighty, so how to increase your viewing experience so you can see my gorgeous slides. Close down everything that's operating in the background. So ignore your email, ignore your Skype, your Zoom, your calls, ignore scrolling through Facebook, and close down any of those extra programs as well. And just concentrate on this 1 hour. If we go 1 hour long, depends how much you all want to hang out with me and ask questions and that at the end. But enjoy this masterclass, this 1 hour with me as well. Turn your phone off as well, or turn it to silent. So ignore those messages. Remember, this class is not about you just taking the information and then never doing anything with it. I'm actually going to have you doing something with this information today. So if you stay with me till the end, you could win Coach Rescue Kit. It's valued at $175. So how do you know? How do I know that you're there? Just pop your name in the comments and let me know that you've joined me, and then at the end I'll ask for who's still there as well. It would be great if you just put your hand up, and then I'll be able to draw who's going to go and have that Coach Rescue Kit with me. Great fun, whatever stage of your coaching business you are at. Rightio. Hi, Keisha. Thank you for dropping in as well. All right, let's get stuck into this. I know you want to get stuck into it. I hope I can see. So let's bring on the magic. So the simplest way to get known in a way that will bring you oodles of clients and incomes. Yet I find so many coaches are missing out on this. In fact, this is the foundation to everything that you're going to do in terms of stepping out into the spotlight, getting known, building your profile and presence, you know, and getting to be a name coach so that you can help and transform the lives of many, many more people. If you don't have this in place, the rest of that stuff won't happen for you. So I'd like you to tell me if you're here listening, and let me know if any of these apply to you. Now, I've worked with a lot of coaches over the year, and I know that this does apply for many, particularly in their first couple of years as well. So let me know if it feels like you're fluffing around all over the place and you don't really know what it is that you are standing for. Just give me a yeah if that is you. Also tell me if it feels like nobody seems interested when you say, I'm a life coach. I know when I started out, I would say that, and I would just be greeted with blank stares, and nobody really seemed to care or was interested in that at all. So let me know if that is something that comes up for you as well. Nobody really seemed to care. Oops, that's me in the background, and I'll try and get rid of her. There we go. Oops, sorry for that. I'll turn her down. All right, so let's go on. Tell me if you get stuck using the words. I give people clarity and direction to describe what it is that you do. Or even worse, if you have a mental blank when asked what you do. So you know the scenario. You're out at a networking, or you're out with a group of people, and they say, "Well, what do you do?" And you go, "I'm a life coach," and they look at you blankly. And so then you start to give some explanations. Oh, well, what I do is I give people clarity and direction, and still blank stares. So let me know if any of those are what is happening for you. I'm just going to turn my volume right down on that. So this magic class is for you if you've come to realize that your training in the life coaching isn't bringing you the amount of clients and lives that you thought that it was going to do. So hell yeah, right, Keisha. Yep, totally had that experience. People go glassy-eyed on you. They do. And that is because the simple reason that people don't actually want or think they need a life coach. So this is what we're going to work on today, so that you're actually able to tell people what it is that you do in a way that's going to get them interested and asking for more. So when you do your life coaching training, of course, you think, oh, I can go out in the world and be a coach, a life coach. But then it does come to the realization very quickly once you're out here in this coaching world that your life coaching skills, training that you've learned in how to be a great coach is not bringing you what you wanted it to be. This magic class is also for you if you want to finally settle on one direction that you know is the right one for you. And it's going to be the one that's going to create your impact and influence. I'll tell you something, that just life coaching or being a business coach alone without a solid message behind it won't allow you to create the radiant influence. That's my words for it. I love influencers who have that radiance. You want to create radiant influence. It just won't allow you to do that. So we're going to today work on what will. So you want to discover your one thing to get known for, and this is what's going to position you as the to-go-to expert, the to-go-to coach, my words, the to-go-to goddess in your niche, or God if you happen to be a male, of course. So it's also for you if you're ready to feel completely aligned to your coaching business, and also so that it feels like it's flowing with ease. That's when the magic comes into it. When you can step into your coaching and think, this isn't so hard, you will not be overwhelmed each morning with all the tasks that you've got to do, and also not be worrying about nobody's reacting to me, nobody's responding to me, I can't seem to get clients. You want to feel totally aligned that what you're giving is powerful and touching other people. When you really tap into the one thing, your one thing, that will do it for you. So this one thing, that's what I call your brilliant sign, and it's what people will associate as you. When they hear your name, that's what they're going to associate with it. They'll know that that's what you're all about, and when they think of that one thing, if they've heard your name, they'll think of you. So that's where we want to get it to for you. Hi to everyone that's jumping in as well. Thank you for joining in. Let's first, before we go into it though, the 3 coach fears. Remember, if you are watching, just pop your name in or pop a comment so that I can see that you're here with me, of course, because you may win if you stick with me to the very end, and I see your name at the end as well, Papa. You will be in the draw for that coach rescue kit for $125. Okay, so as I said, I've worked with coaches for like 8 years, mentoring and guiding them to building their coaching businesses and building their profiles and getting known out there, building their client bases. And I have discovered that there's 3 main fears that many coaches, the majority of coaches have, that are actually stopping them from getting known and gaining clients. So the first one that is, if I narrow down, I'm going to miss out. So people think that they would rather be very generalized, and that way, they're thinking that they'll get more clients if they can do a lot of stuff. There is a problem with that, in the fact that you don't actually get known for your one thing. You're just out there doing a lot of stuff, and you're not really sticking on anyone's mind because they're not really associated you with something or a problem that's being solved. It's quite the opposite, actually. if you narrow down, of course, and you get known for being the one to go to have that particular problem solved or be in that particular field, you're likely to end up with more clients. Another common coach fear that I've heard is visibility scarce, and I was one of those. I was petrified of visibility, and I must say, you know, I've eased into it now over the years and practice. But when I first started out, being shy and being introverted, there's no way I wanted to step out in front of people and have all eyes on me. I would prefer to stay hidden. And I see that that's a fairly common thing as well with many. So if you've got one of these coach fears, let me know, because you are not alone. As I said, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coaches, and these are the things that come up all the time. The other one is that they think, you know, many coaches think that they're just not enough, that they have to keep on training and building their I call it the coaching toolbox, you know. So you developed your coach, you've learned your coaching skills through your life coaching training. Then you want to go and do something like NLP, and then you still think that's not enough because I'm still not getting clients. So you'll go and do hypnosis, and then that's still not enough. So you go and do some other fancy training as well. You are enough. If you have good, solid coach training and you've been trained how to coach people, not just mentor, I mean actually coach people through their own fears, then you are enough. So step into that knowledge that you are totally enough right now where you are. So because none of these fears are the truth, of course. As I said, you've got everything you need right now to create impact and transform the lives of others in the way that you dream of and in the way that you got into coaching for. There's one thing I know about my particular market, and it's the wanting to help and transform and make a better place, a better world, is the main driver, not the money, rather than those that come into thinking that coaching is just going to be an easy money. My particular market and the people that I love to speak for, you have a higher mission than just the money. But of course, the money is the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful byproduct of you helping so many others. That's what we're aiming for. Short bit about you, about me. I know we have a large group, so many of you will be watching the replay of this, of course, and some of you will know me, some of you not so much. I live a totally country lifestyle. Don't live in a city or anything, live out on a property out in central west New South Wales. I am surrounded by animals. I have horses, bunnies, as you can see, and kangaroos. I'm quite known as the kangaroo lady online, and my kangaroos have appeared in quite a few interviews in the United States and that. So when I first started out, I was promoting this lovely country lifestyle, but the reality was I really didn't have many clients at all in the early days. Why? Because I was quite generalized. I was just going out there as a coach for women who wanted more in their lives. Very general. So it did add up to, okay, I had a beautiful, gorgeous lifestyle, but I still wasn't getting in a lot of clients. I also looked like I was doing well. You know, I was winning awards, book launches, hanging out with some celebs, all that stuff. It looked like I was doing really, really well. I was doing okay, but I had a lot of savings that were put behind me as well from when I was running my big business in the mining industry. So obviously I came into this with a fair bit of savings behind me. But then the savings ran out. And when the savings ran out, I didn't have that backup money to call on, and I really, really had to kick my own butt and start bringing in my own, top income. That's when I really stepped into my zone of genius. It's when I had the idea, because I had been mentoring the coaches and the authors for a while, and also working with celebrities. It's when I had the idea that I could see a big gap between what the celebs were doing to be out there, getting known, getting on TV, becoming the it people online and all that sort of stuff, compared to many coaches and authors who were just hiding away and trying to chase clients. I could see that big gap. It was when I realized I could actually teach what I was working on with my celeb clients in terms of profile building to my coaches and my authors and my change makers that I stepped into my true zone of genius. I decided I'm going to be the profile builder for coaches and change makers. That was my zone of genius. And that's when things really started to take off, because I stopped being just general personal development, so to speak. I then had a place where I was speaking to a certain group of people who wanted to achieve a certain type of thing and had all very much the same problem as well. Yep, zone of genius, and yes, hashtag you are enough, Keisha. Thank you. The one thing, this is what you want to do, and this is the foundation. If you've got to, I can't say it enough, you need to have this in place before you think about jumping out into this big online world and being a podcast guest and trying to get media and doing summits and doing all the rest of it. If you could see me, I'm waving my hands around in the air here, because I know people think big, but then they don't have that solid foundation behind them to actually take them to that bigness. And that's the one thing. So if you look at the one thing, let's look at a few famous names and you'll see it in action. Tony Robbins, his one thing, personal power. Louise Hay, she was affirmations to heal your life. Gabby Bernstein, she's all about happiness. Gina DeVee, of course, she does the divine living with luxurious lifestyle. So she really promotes that luxurious lifestyle for coaches and change makers. And that her movement actually sparked a whole lot of copycats in its time that promoted the luxury living coach lifestyle. And that just shows how brilliant it is when you really hook into getting known and creating a movement out of your one thing. That's the way you've got to look at it. This will be your movement, and it's the thing that will take you from unknown coach to getting known by more and more and more people who then want to work with you. There's a few where we see the one thing, so to speak, put into some of our major brands that you all know. Coca-Cola's always been about joy and happiness and youthful energy and vibrance. Nike, just get off your butt and do it. and Apple, of course, be innovative, think differently. So you can see how what I'm talking about works out there in the world of marketing and becoming a name brand and having a name profile. If you don't have it, it is extremely difficult, not to say almost impossible, to build your name and reputation. So that's why today you are going to be looking at and deciding on what your one thing is that you want to be known for. When I work with coaches, I find that many of them are focused on who they want to work with, and that's where it ends. Really, you want to be focused on what you represent to that particular distinct area of people. So don't just focus on, I work with, coaches. I work with people who are divorced and struggling to find a new relationship. I want you to turn that around and say, well, what can I represent to those people? So if you are working with people who are divorced and struggling with finding a new relationship, what you want to represent to them is new love, hope, the fact that they can start again, the fact that they can be happy after divorce, all this sort of stuff. So think about what you want to represent to your people, and that comes into your one thing as well. It's more about how you make people feel with your messaging and your presence as well. That has to come into it as well. Hi, Joanna. Yes, I know it's late in Europe and the UK, so you can always catch the replay. This will be staying here in the group. Okay, so this is what happens to a lot of coaches, happened to me as well when I first started out. Just see it time and time again. So what do? Look, I'm a coach who works with women over 50, helping them get clarity and direction. It sounds good to you as a coach because of your coach training, but the simple fact is and you might not like hearing this, but it's the truth, clarity and direction is not going to have people thumping down your doors to get it. Most people don't even think they need clarity and direction. That's coach language. You need to go much deeper than that and really get into the head and heart of the people you're trying to reach and what do they really, really want. Get out of your coach head and get into their head. You need to go much deeper. I'd also say that you need to be more than the coach who helps people with their empowerment. I see that a lot. I'm an empowerment coach, or I help people with empowerment. And seriously, I'm not sure how many people out there really wake up each morning and go, gee, I need some empowerment today. They'll be talking empowerment in a different language. So your job is to talk that empowerment in their language. Most of them, you know, empowerment's a coach style language. It's not what most people are saying when they wake up, gee, I need some empowerment today. They need something else. It's the same as with their marketing. They don't wake up and go, oh, gee, I need some marketing. They'll wake up, for example, my audience will go, oh, I need some more clients. I've got no money in my bank. So you have to think about what they really want. They're not thinking, I need marketing on marketing. They're going, I need clients, I need clients, I need income. I need people to know who I am, so that way they'll know what I've got for them. You need to be more than those, because those positions are already taken by many, many, many others. And look, to be honest, your aim in this game of stepping into the spotlight is to stand out from the crowd as well. There's always enough for all, but the coaching market is getting more and more and more people in it. And so I will tell you quite honestly, as much as we might like to bury our head in the sand, you are going to have more and more and more competition in this online and offline world. Because there's just more people out there wanting to do this work that we are all doing. So you've got to make sure that yours is really stand out. It doesn't matter that someone else is doing the same thing. You just have to represent yourself in your way that stand out different to what they're doing. Okay, Jenny, can you shed some light on how you could drill down deeper on how to reach clients over 50, as that is the niche I want to focus on? Well, you just hang five, Jenny, because we are going to get to that with the formula. That's going to help you drill it all down. So when I get to that formula very soon, you'll be able to work along with me and you'll be able to drill that down yourself. This is why I did the formula up, so it could help people. So you want to be known for what your market really, really wants. And that is not empowerment. They want more what empowerment gives them. If you are looking at empowerment, they want what it gives them, and your job is to find out what does empowerment actually give them, because that's what they want. Empowerment's not usually their language. It's not really what they're thinking of. They also want, as I said earlier, how, for example, if it is empowerment that you're thinking that you give, they also want how empowerment makes them feel as well. So if you think about when you're empowered, how do you feel? I mean, for me, example, when I'm fully in my full flight, and I actually don't use the word empowered for myself, but I'm actually feel like I'm really just stepping up into my light. They're my words. I feel like I'm stepping into my goddess energy. I really feel my femininity really coming out, the feminine really coming out and taking over. It's the way I feel. I feel luscious. I feel divine. I feel all these things. But it's all empowerment, but I'm putting them in my words. And you have to do that. You have to understand what empowerment feels for your target market. That your target market are the people that are going to be your audience. They're the people that are going to be your followers as you start to build your profile more and more and more. That means you're going to get more and more and more known to those particular people because you represent something very powerful to them. You are touching them in some way. That's what you're going to aim for today. So let's look at I'm a coach who works with women over 50, helping them get clarity and direction. Let's look at that. Now, I'm going to show you what I've done here, but you won't understand it until we work through. So what do? I'm a coach who works with women over 50. And I'm showing them how easy it is to be in love with their life as they age. It allows them to feel youthful, sexy, energized, admired, and speaks to their underlying desire to feel as if life hasn't passed them by yet. And instead, there's a whole new world out there waiting for them to continuously discover. Because age has got nothing to do with your chronological age, everything to do with how vibrantly you are living. Now that's a lot, isn't it? But you can understand how if someone if I wanted to get someone more interested in making them feel what I wanted them to feel and making them feel and understand about what my service for them, my coaching for them is going to do for them, it's very different than I give you clarity and direction. No, I'm giving you a whole new life. I'm making you feel useful, sexy, energized, and giving your life back. I'm giving you a whole new thing to look at. You're just going to feel like a completely new person. You're going to really rediscover yourself. You're going to show it doesn't matter how old you are still amazing. This is all the stuff you can say to them. And it works so much better than I give people clarity and direction. You're not going to get a response from that. But if you start talking this, really showing your passion, really showing the emotions that you want people to feel and what it is that work actually does for them, then you're going to have them more hooked. You got to hone this down, of course. This is when you get to have that conversation. That's obviously a bit too long, which is why we're going to hone it down. And this is what we're going to do here. So now our over 50s coach can get known for that one thing. All right. So that what we just did is the summary of everything that she represents. And she can narrow it down to anything like this. Of course, it's what she wants to narrow it down. But if I was to take that and I was working with a coach, I would look at that and say, okay, well, you can be known for, you're not giving women over 50 clarity and direction. You're helping women, you're having women over 50 aging vibrantly, or, you know, depending on how much older you're going, grey is sexy, or over 50 vibrant, admired women behaving badly. However way you wanted to approach it is going to depend on your individual thing. But that then becomes your one thing. You're the coach for women who are aging vibrantly. Or want to be aging vibrantly, obviously. You've narrowed it down. Now you've got something tangible underneath you. And so when someone says, someone's doing a summit, for example, and they want a top guest, they're not going to go, I want an over 50s coach who's going to give my audience clarity and direction. They're going to go, wow, Denise here, she's known for helping women over 50 age vibrantly. I want her. We want to talk about vibrance and embracing life when you're over 50, instead of feeling down in the dumps and forgotten and feeling that life's passed you by. And if you can get known just for that one thing, you're still teaching them the same stuff. You're not changing what you teach them at all. Yes, thank you, Jessie. It is a big shift, and this is just what I want to see you creating for yourself, whatever your target market is. It is creating that shift of energy within yourself, because I bet if you are saying I'm help women over 50 get clarity and direction, I have a feeling that energetically you might be feeling a bit flat with that, and that's going to show, because when I say it I feel very flat. But as soon as I launch into women aging vibrantly, or grey is sexy, or women over 50 admired and behaving badly for it, I get a whole different feel, a whole different energy to me. That's your job. That's what you've got to evoke in your target market, and then they want it. They don't want you as such, they want how aging vibrantly is going to make them feel, and then they'll hire you. So that's the difference. So that's narrowing it down to your next thing. It's, as I said, boom, big arrow, more attention grabbing than clarity and direction. So imagine that feeling when you have got your target market really feeling what you can do for them. Not something really really feeling. Imagine if you're that over 50s coach for women and you're getting on the radar of 50-year-old women who are wanting to fall in love with their lives all over again, or didn't think they could fall in love with their lives over again. And here you are, this beautiful, magical example, radiantly out there, showing them how they can do this and being there for them. You're going to create a whole movement. And that's what your one thing is all about. It's creating your movement for that one thing. You cannot create a movement for clarity and direction, cannot create a movement for life coaching, saying I'm your life coach, come and help me solve your problems. You just can't do it. So this is why you're going to do your one thing today. So what are you going to be known for? What's your one thing? I'm going to teach you now the formula that you can apply, and it's really simple, but this will be your foundation. And once you get this, you will be surprised at how much you'll be then willing to step out into the spotlight, because I find a lot of people don't want to amp up their visibility because they don't feel that their message is strong enough. If they're really honest with themselves, they know it deep down inside, and that pulls them back. But when you're really tapped into what it is you're all about, your platform and the message you've got for a certain group of people, and how you are presenting it and making them feel, when you're really tapped into that, you'll find the difference. I noticed a big difference in me when I came up with, really tapping into what coaches and change makers want, and the whole idea of stepping out into the spotlight in comparison to when I was just helping people with personal development. So that shift within you, it will radiate out as well. All right, so get your notes, get your pen and paper, type on your computer, whatever it is that you're doing. So the first bit, you're going to write, I help, and you're going to put your target market there. So who is it that you're actually helping? This is just where we are talking about the certain people, the group of people that you are serving or wanting to help. So it might be women over 50. Now we know that's not particularly narrowed down yet. That's okay. You're going to do the narrowing down in a minute. So I'll give you just, 20 seconds, 30 seconds just to write that down. While you're doing that, I'm just going to check any comments here. Thank you for those of you who are saying that's yummy and bingo and all the rest of it. I get very excited about this because I said a lot of people wanting to step out into the spotlight, but they don't have this. If you don't have this, first off, all those profile building activities, all that visibility, time and effort, it's kind of wasted. It won't bring you a lot. So yes, you may be visible, and people might be seeing you, but do they understand you? And do they want what you've got? That's the thing to ask. The next bit is so I help, remember this bit? We'll go through all this again in a minute. So I help, and whoever your target market is, remember this was I help women over 50. 2, so what is it that you actually do and teach? What is it that you actually do and teach? And it's not giving clarity and direction. Think a little bit more about that. If you're giving someone clarity and direction, what are you actually also really giving that particular target market? There's more of the formula to come. It will help you narrow it down even more. So just bear with me. Hi, Neelam. Thanks for joining us as well. Good to have you dropping in. So I'll give you a few moments there to write down that. So I help, who your target market is, and then put what it is you actually do and teach. Now, don't get too fussy about this right now, by the way. You can refine this. My motto with all my coaches is just get it down, and then you can go back, edit, and refine afterwards. Constant improvement. So you don't have to get it right now. You just got to jot the ideas down. Next bit you're going to fill in is, which allows them to, this is the results you want them to have. This is the results you want them to create with you, through you. What are they actually having? So work through that. I'll just give you a few moments to do that as well. Just think, as I said, you don't have to do all this right now, but I just want you to write down your basics. You can refine afterwards. So what is what you teach allowing them to be able to do? So for example, if you're a relationship coach and you're teaching how to survive after divorce, and if they're able to survive after divorce, what results can they anticipate and create from that work you've been doing with them? They'll probably be able to find a new love, probably be able to march back into the dating field with more confidence, more hope, more optimism. These are all the things that you need to be thinking about. I'll give you this whole formula, by the way, in whole one thing for you to look at. And then your next bit is, and speaks to their core desire to. So, okay, you've given them the results. Now, what do they really, really, really want from those results that you create with them? So this is where you nut it down even deeper. Women, remember my women aging vibrantly? What did they really, really want? At the end of the day, if I'm over 50, which I am, and I want to age vibrantly, which I think that I am, I want to be aging vibrantly because I don't want life, age, you know, the actual number, to make any difference to my life. I still want to feel young. I want to feel sexy. I want to be energetic. I don't want to be bogged down. I don't want to be like my grandmother, in my grandmother's era, where 50 was over the hill. I still want to feel desirable. I still want to feel like I've got a lot to do on this planet and a lot to contribute to this planet. This is where you've got to start getting deeper into the mind of your people, your target market. Okay, so we want to age vibrantly, but what's the reasoning behind that? And what do we really, really want? This goes into their more deeper desires. I'll just check while you're writing that down. Okay, you all seem to be happily writing it down there. Okay, let's move along. And this is your because, the clause. And this is your bit of message to them. I'll show it to you all again in a minute so you can, you know, recapture it. But the because bit is, I just saw Jenny's comment. I think Vanessa is my twin. The because bit is that message that if you just had that person exactly opposite that you, what would you say to them? And it wouldn't be, you need to get clarity and direction. What is the gist of what you know what they really, really want? What is the message that you really want to say to them? And this comes from you. It comes from your heart. It comes from you serving. And it comes from your expertise with knowing what these people really want as well. And knowing what they need to hear to be able to make this all happen for them. And this message, your bit of the message, is the bit that helps cement why they should be coming to follow you, hire you, join in on your programs, all those reasons. So that's your message part. Okay. Here it is again. Okay, ready? I help your target market to what it is you do and teach. So write this down because you can work on it. You can work on it today and then you can clarify it later. So I help your target market to whatever it is that you do and teach, which allows them to, this is the results that you are creating, and speaks to their core desire to. So this is where you're really getting into that inner level of them, what they really, really, really want beyond what they tell you. Now, as a coach, if you are a well-trained coach, you will know about this. If you're not, it might be a bit tougher to actually understand this. I'd suggest you get out there and do a lot of target market research by speaking to your audience. If you're a well-trained coach, you know that there's always something deeper than what they're telling you. And this is their core desires. And the because bit, and that's your little bit of added on message. It's full of hope, it's full of inspiration, it's full of reasoning as to why all this is important. I'll have a look at yours in a minute, Neelam. I've just seen your notice. So here it is again. Look, I'm a coach who works with women over 50. So here's our target market up there, women over 50. Not particularly narrowed down at this point. It doesn't matter, because as you can see, it's not about the narrow niche. It's about, I mean, if Gabby Bernstein can do happiness, for God's sake, which is by no means a narrow niche, you can work with any niche, no matter what with. You just have to narrow down to what they're actually feeling and getting, those core desires that you're tapping into, and make your messaging around that. So I'm a coach who works with women over 50, target market, showing them how easy it is to be in love with their life as they age. That's the work that I'm doing. It's what I'm teaching them, right? I'm showing them how to be in love with their life. This is not me, by the way. This is just my example coach. This allows them to feel youthful, sexy, energized, and speaks to their underlying desire to feel as life hasn't passed them by. So we're getting into some heavier stuff there, and you'll really be speaking to them. A lot of people are not going to be able to actually say that, but when they know that you're saying it, they're going to connect with you. So if we look at this bit, this allows them to feel youthful, sexy, energized. Let's just flick back. That's the allows them bit there, see? It allows them to, and that's the results that it's creating. Then the next bit, of course, is speaks to their core desire, because that's what we've done here. Speaks to their underlying desire to feel as if life hasn't passed them by, and instead there's a whole new world out there waiting for them to discover. Because here's my little message to them. Age has got absolutely nothing to do with it, and with your chronological age, and everything to do with how vibrantly you are living. That's my little message to people, to get them to understand. Just because you're 55 or 60 or 70, that shouldn't matter with how you are approaching life. You can feel as young and energetic as you want, and the number that you've got, you know, on your birth certificate, so for example, should have nothing to do with how you see yourself. And we know, sadly, that it does. Some people reach 50 and think, oh, I'm over the hill and done it, or whatever, I'm 80, I need to stay on my armchair now and not move. Yet we get other people that we know that are out there at 100 skydiving. So it is all in how you approach it. So you can see now that formula in work there, and you've got it all written down. Your next bit, of course, is you look at that statement as a whole, and then you just cement it into just a few words, and that's your one thing. But the feelings and everything that you're evoking in people is all around that. And when you're having conversations, you're writing your bio, all this is going to help you. This bit here is going to help you with all that. But that is a bit of a mouthful when someone says, what do you do? This is when you get to say, for example, I help women over 50 to age vibrantly. Oh, so how does that work? Then you get to say and move on the rest of the stuff here, and you have a really jolly good conversation with someone all around this. You think of the conversation it will spark, particularly if you're speaking to, you know, other women over 50, or even another woman's over 50's husband. Think of the conversations that you could have sparked by this. But you do have to narrow it down to that whole statement into a few words. That's where a lot of people can struggle. But it's quite easy, really. Just think about what you're capturing with all that. Don't try and get it all in. You've got it all in your statement. You've just got to now take it down to a few words. And this is where you can put down lots of ideas, you know, just in a few words, and then just circle the one that you like best. And also, you don't have to stick with it forever either, by the way. If something new comes to you, change it. But remember, you're all on the one direction, though. It's just that you might change your words slightly. The thing about getting known for your one thing, though, is that once you want it to stick, it needs to stick, because it's very hard as you build your profile and get known to actually then do a left circle and completely change direction somewhere else. You can do that while you're not so well known. But once you start to really establish your profile and your following and your known, it'll be quite difficult to do a complete turnaround into something different. So think about getting this. This is why I say to you, to everyone who's out there building their profile, and that this movement that you're building, this one thing, this must come first. And once you've got this on pat, then the rest of the stuff will all start to come together so much easier. Because, as I said, if I'm looking for a podcast guest, for example, and I want a podcast guest to come on and talk about how women over 50 can live a more energetic life or can age vibrantly, or how I want to talk about being grey can actually be sexy, if that's your one thing and you're known for that, I'm going to contact you. I'm not going to go and contact another over 50s coach, especially one who's talking about clarity direction. I'm going to say, oh, I want the greyest sexy girl, and I'm going to go and get you. Or I want the women over 50 behaving badly girl and getting up to mischief. I want you. That's how it works. So that's what people's going to associate you with. That's got to be your name. It's what you're all about. It's what they think of when they think of you. Just tap into a few questions here. So Keisha says, it's exactly what I'm working on right now, starting over with my business and what I truly desire to be sharing in the world and assisting people with. Yeah, and once you've got it, then you will step into this. You will step into the spotlight. No, you will step into getting known, building your presence, and really making hugely valuable connections as well in our coaching and change-making world that are going to make your business begin to grow to the point it will explode. So a lot of people even shy back from creating great joint ventures and great connections and collaborations with others because A, they don't feel that they're strong enough to match, you know, that higher caliber of people. Once you really know what it is that you stand for and you feel perfectly aligned and you know that it's touching and reaching your market, you won't have a problem stepping up with the next level of the higher names. You seriously won't. But I know a lot of people get scared. Ooh, they know more than me, or ooh, they've got such a more following than me, or ooh, I'm just not good enough for them. Why would they want to hang out with me? When you know your stuff and you're getting known for that one thing, they won't hesitate to hang out with you or collaborate with you, especially as you start to, you know, have a name and a profile. You're building your audience, you're getting your followers. So I hope that now gives you some perspective on what you need to have. So if you've worked on this, and if you haven't, you can come back and let me know. I want you to tell me the one thing you want to be known for in the comments. Let's see what we've got. Thank you, Jenny. I know it's late for you in Europe. Great for the US and great for us in Australia right now, of course. All right, Neelam. So I'm just going to read yours, Neelam, before we move on while everyone's writing down or still working on their little formula there, or really tapping into what their one thing that you want to be known for. I'm not going to judge you today at all and tell you yes or no. That's not what you want to be known for. I just want you to really tap into your essence, the people that you're serving, and just know that that's your one thing. Because I don't have to like it. Nobody else has to like it. Your target market has to like it, and you have to like it. So I'm not going to give you advice and saying, yes, that's right, or yes, that's no. If you work with me privately, I do, of course, obviously, but on this particular scale, I just want you to tap into feeling good, that you finally know what it is you're going to be on about. So Neela says, I'm an intuitive business coach and angelic master healer. Can't separate them. What are your thoughts? It's very hard to get known for two things. You doesn't mean you can't. If you want to be known as an intuitive business coach, it doesn't mean you can't bring in your healing work into that arena in some way. So if I'm working with someone as an intuitive business coach and I know that they've got some issues that I know that my healing work with the angels will help, then I'll bring it into them. You don't know me as a tarot reader, but you all know that I will sometimes do you tarot readings. I also have Tarot in My Biz if you want a tarot business reading to look at your profile. So I'm actually using my tarot talent and offering it as a bit of a little side service or part of the package to actually what you need to be doing to get known and get yourself out there and build your coaching business so that it gets as you desire it to be. So my thoughts are, yeah, you're going to have to, angelic business mentor, as long as you're speaking just to those people that really accept it, I can't see a problem with that at all, Neelam. I would just go into, I think you've got to tap into what actually your work in the angelic realm is going to do to help me in my business. Otherwise, I might just go and get a normal business coach who's able to articulate to me more effectively what their work can be. So your job is to articulate what's special about the fact that you work with the angelic realm for us as businesses. You tap into that and you'll get it. You'll get that something that's going to make you stand out. Because a lot of people could look at angelic business mentor and go, yeah, that's lovely, but what's in it for me? So if I don't know what's in it for me, I'm not going to hire you. So you have to tell us what's in it for us for hiring an angelic business mentor. Why is that the thing we should be looking at? So if you can tap into that, Neelam, you'll have it. Okay, let's move along. All right, so how are you feeling now? How does it feel to be solid and what you want to be known for? If you haven't got to that solid phase, you can come back and tell me because this will stay up as a replay in the group. So you can come back and tell me how it feels when you really, really tap in. I can tell you how it feels for me. It feels for me that I just feel on fire. When I know what I'm talking about and that you guys get it, I feel on fire. And I'm really shy and introverted, but it really lights me up. Tell me how you feel if you've got time. Keisha, not there yet? That's cool. That's cool. We can get there. You can come back to me later when you have it and tell me what you've come up with and how it feels. I want you to tap into how you feel as well, because I also want you to be tapping into how your target market feel, your potential clients are feeling. This is where we have to get out of our coach head. You coaches, you know, I'm a coach too. We can tend to talk and speak in all that coach language, but we really need to get into how our people, and you know, my people are going to be most likely different than your people. So our people are going to be reacting in different ways. This is how you become special, because you'll be walking, talking, and doing your thing in a different way to me and into a different way to someone else. But it's all going to be appealing to a certain number of people who say, I need that girl or I need that guy. So how does it feel to be solid? How does it feel to know now you've got something that's going to have you stand out? How does it feel to actually feel now at ease? I find people, when they actually get this, there's a shift in them and how they feel about the journey ahead with their coaching business. And also to know now that you are solid on that foundation, and now you can jump out into this online and offline world and know that you are representing something strong to a certain portion of people who are going to need you. My little message to you is I just want you to know that it's your time to step into the spotlight. It's your time to step into your brilliance in a way that others actually respond to it. You know what I said at the beginning. I know some of you might think I'm a bit harsh for disparaging clarity and direction, but I'm doing it in the sense that I just know that people don't respond to it. And the thing about stepping into the spotlight, which is all about getting known, building profile, and becoming a name coach so that you are getting plenty of clients and you are making great income and growing your business to the levels you want to and impacting as many people as you want, is it all comes down to how people respond to you and what it is you represent to them. So this is why we do this. Let me just go on. That's my big message to you. It's your time to shine. I just love my slides. I hope you like my slides. I'm very much all about the shine, the glitter. It's just so me. So remember, your one thing is that foundation to building an audience. And as I have said, and I've said it over and over again, if you don't have that in place, then all the profile building activities that you're doing won't amount to very much because A, you'll be forgetful. B, you're not really touching people in the way that you want to. And C, there's someone else that is stepped into where you should be stepping into and they're doing it better because they've taken it down to that one thing and gotten known for it. You can step up to that place quite easily just by working with this formula. Not saying you're going to get it instantly, but it shouldn't take you too long to have it all figured out. Oh, thank you, Neelam. Yeah, I'm a glitter, shiny type of girl. In fact, when I did my branding when I first started out, one of the things that was very important to me, and, you know, I even used the name Spotlight, Radiance, Brilliant Zone, all those things. But one of the things that was important to me was luminosity, this ability for us to be able to just radiate and shine and therefore attract our clients to us without having to do too much of that dreadful chasing. When you position yourself in the right way and you've got that one thing as your foundation and that's what you talk about and that's what you're known about, it's very easy then to attract people to you. If you're just positioning yourself as just a life coach or a business coach, it's hard slog because you do then have to do a lot of what we call the chase. I'm not saying you won't have to do any marketing or anything. It just will all become easier for you when you've established your one thing. So I'm going to share with you, for those of you who have popped along, if you don't want to hear about it, but I'm going to tell you about my Step Into the Spotlight. That is starting again in March. So I'm just going to lead you through a little bit of that because I just want to show you that I'm not special. I didn't get lucky with my idea. I just tapped into what was floating my boat, basically. And what was floating my boat was working with the coaches and the authors and the change makers, but also my work with getting the celebrities more known and then tapping into the fact that hey, I can actually combine this. I can actually make coaches and change makers their own little celebrities to their particular markets. You may not want to be Tony Robbins. Most of us don't actually want to be that big, but you do need to be a bit of a celebrity to the people who need you most. So if you can get a little bit of that celebrity factor, that's what floats my boat. And when I tapped into that, into my brilliant zone for making that type of magic happen, everything just seemed to flow. And if I can do this, there's no doubt you can do it too. I haven't met a coach that actually can't. I have met a coach who doesn't do it because they have a lot of blocks and that around them that are stopping them from doing it, or a lot of self-doubt and all that. So if you want guidance with getting known for your one thing, as I said, feel free. I will not be offended if you hop off right now because I am going to talk about my beautiful, brilliant Step Into the Spotlight program that is starting in March. And if you feel you would like the extra help to build the thriving and profitable coaching business and to get your name out there at the level you would eventually hope to be, then this is for you. So let me wave my magic wand. This is it, the Step Into the Spotlight program. It's all about having you known, becoming that bit of a celebrity coach. Even if you don't like the word celebrity, just see it as getting known to the right people who need to know you and attracting clients. Thank you, Keisha. Good. I'm glad that you just want to hang around and see about this. So that's it there. It's a complete step-by-step process to actually growing your coaching or change-making business. Some of you are not essentially coaches as such, I know that, but who I work with is coaches, authors, experts, change makers, people who want to become radiant influencers. You know, and I mean really radiant influence. Be known for all the good stuff, not the bad stuff. And so this is about doing that, increasing your visibility as a radiant influencer, expanding your horizons to reach a far larger audience as you work through in this step-by-step process with me. It is the program for you if you want to create a well-known, profitable, and also feel-good coaching business. I actually think there's a lot of coaching businesses out there that on the outset look like they're doing quite well, but on the inside I know that the people who are running them are not feeling good. They're feeling trapped in some way, or bogged down, or overwhelmed. So we want to make sure that we, by stepping into the spotlight, are doing it in a way that feels good to us, and that we can get up each morning and not go, oh my God, I've got to go and do this or whatever. We can get up all morning and get excited, like I was excited about coming on to do this today, because I love doing this stuff. This is where you tap into what you love. I just love doing this stuff. And I love seeing coaches and change makers doing their thing as well, whatever it is. Like when I put something in the group the other day and said, what is it you love to do for your profile building? Lots of people said speaking, getting up on the stage and speaking. I must say that's not one of my favorite. I'm probably a little bit too shy for that. But I love teaching. So this is my thing. All right, what you will get in the Spotlight program, it's my complete guidance. So you're actually going to get me every week. I kid you not, I will be with you every week. You're going to get weekly live training calls. You're going to get Q&A time as well with me. You'll have a nice little group, so we don't allow them too big at all. So you're going to get nice time as a group. The previous classes that have gone through, they have really stuck together, grown together, and they help one another out as well. Very important to build yourself a nice little tight-knit community of peers who are on a similar mission to you, and you can help each other along. You'll also get access to great guest experts. One of the things that I do go on about in this Spotlight program is creating great connections. Great connections will help you grow your business. So I bring in guest experts who maybe cover stuff that is not my special area of brilliance. For example, speaking. I'll get a speaker person in, Andrew Eggleton, all going well because he's touring around the world now, but he is usually our guest expert who comes in and talks about speaking and doing lives and also getting up on the stage as well and getting that. And then you get to actually create connections with my guest experts. The reason why, because we don't have 60, 40 people in the class. You are here in a small video conference room and you are getting to connect and create your own alliances with these guest experts as well. So it's a great way for you to step up into the onto the radar of these other more well-known influencers that will be coming in to teach you with some of the modules. Of course, we're going to have a small for private Facebook group, and of course weekly checklists and workbooks as well to keep you on track. What are you going to be creating? Well, you're definitely going to be creating the one thing. So if you found it a bit of a struggle today, if you come along into this program, it is 6 months, I will say, by the way, too. People go, what, 6 months? You cannot become Tony Robbins overnight. It is 6 months of pure commitment to getting out, getting known, and building your profile. So imagine where you would be, though. You know, you say, oh, 6 months, that's a long time. It's actually not, and you'll do it a lot faster. So your 6 months will be really well strategized in comparison to if you didn't do this program and you were out there just trying to feel your way over the next 6 months. Can you imagine the difference? It's a huge difference where you'll be by the end of this year with the Spotlight program compared to if you're still trying to make your way yourself. You will end up stepping into a place of radiance because we will narrow it down to your one thing. That's the first thing we do is the messaging. Then we are concentrating on how you can be creating a consistent stream of clients, very important. And also, you're not going to go through overwhelm and get a lot of conflicting information. You'll have me. I've walked the path. I've walked many others through it, and I'll just tell it to you straight along the way. And I'm not going to have you going in all different type of directions. you will get to go on the step-by-step process that actually works. So you won't have to jump from guru to guru trying to find information. You'll get a fair bit in this program within this 6 months. So in that way, it's money savings as well. Beginner to expert, the 3 profile stages is what you'll be doing. You'll be laying your foundations, a little bit of what you did today. Of course, there's a lot more that we'll be doing. You'll then be developing your presence and getting known, and then you'll be doing the big stuff, and that's really expanding your reach. This is where you'll be thinking and going bigger, and that's obviously more near the last couple of months in the program where you're really starting to look at that. Hang on. Couple of testimonials. I will put them up so you can have a read. I'll just go through them quickly. That's Susanna's if you want to have a quick read. Susanna still works with me, actually. She's doing great stuff. That's Susanna's little testimonial. Another spotlighter, Leanne. She had no clue where she was going. Leanne doesn't mind me telling people this. No thought whatsoever where she was going. She just wanted to be a coach. Now she's got her own podcast out. She's got a bestseller book out. She is getting approached to speak at events and networking events all in her local region. I'm pretty sure it won't be long until she starts getting the international stuff as well. In fact, I can get her an international thing tomorrow. If she wants it, Leanne, just let me know and I'll get you one, because I've got a couple there that are ready and waiting for someone to fill. And Leanne was a bit of an introvert as well, so it's a perfect program for her as well. And that's just Cherie. She just has said to me that the opportunities that were opened up to her from doing the Spotlight program were just amazing, and things that she wouldn't have thought of. So Cherie's now a very one of the popular bloggers on a major as the health and fitness blogger on one of the major Australian websites. So she learnt how to find those opportunities, how to pitch for them, and how to get them. This is it, and it's pretty good value, you know, honestly. That's Australian dollars, by the way, so US. I know a lot of Americans tend to join this program. You can break that down. It's 4,000. That's probably around 3.4 for 6 months of complete guidance to stepping in your spotlight. You'll learn how to be guest, how to pitch and get on the big podcasts, not just the small ones, but the big ones. I'll teach you lots of stuff. You can pay in full. Today, you know, if you say that you're interested today, you don't have to pay today, but if you put your hand up and say, yeah, definitely want to talk to you about it today, it will stay on offer for you for only $3,500, and that's the pay in full price. So you'll save $805. So if you send me a message and say, yep, I'm interested, I want to talk to you about it, you will get that huge VIP rate, let me call it that, because you've hung around. And of course there's this payment plan as well. I'm just keeping that as is. If you choose to make payment plan, it is still that at the 650 US. I mean, sorry, Australian. And break that down, a lot less for the US, of course, because of the exchange rate. Lucky you. I don't know how that Facebook group magicians thing got there, but I don't want that one. What we want is this one. There we go. That's the one. You can head there, but I'll put the link up here as well. If you want to go ahead and find out even more information, you can just message me and we can book a time to actually speak about the program. I'm not I'm not one of those hard sell type people. It's either is for you or it isn't. Basically what it comes down to the end of the day for the people that come into this program is that they've got to be committed, because I said it is a longer program. It is 6 months, but anyone will tell you that better results are gotten when you commit to a longer program and spending the time with the one person to really learn their process and really have them guide you along, rather than doing a whole lot of little 4 to 6 week programs. They can work well depending on what you want, but if you are really looking at something as massive as it is really time to light up my coaching business and how I am showing up in the world, then this is the one for you, the Step Into the Spotlight. Alrighty. Let me have a look, because I'm going to have a look at who is still here. So if you're still here, just write me a comment that you're still here. There's a few of you still here that started from the beginning. I know that who was here from the beginning. And I'm just going to do a random tap and see which name comes up, and you will win Coach Rescue Kit. Coach Rescue Kit is 1 hour with me to look at any issue within your coaching business. I'm not going to look at the whole coaching business. You'll come with one particular area you want some help with. So whether it's your social media strategy, or whether it's your messaging, or whether it's how to get some speaking gigs, or whether it's how do I get on those podcasts that I want to get on, whatever the specific problem is that you want some help with, that's what we'll deal and look at in this 1 hour. So if you're lucky enough to get that, it's valued at $175, and a little bonus with Coach Rescue Kit is you also get my entire Convert for Coaches program. It is a nice little 6-module online course that you can just do in your own time, and I got a lot of people saying that that really helped them, again, for foundation setting for their particular one. All right, Kirsha, Neelam, Jenny, Jessie. All right, I'm just going to flick this and see who comes up. Okay, let's just go. Woo. Jenny Erickson, you are the one that just, when I flicked it. Sorry, other guys. I loved having you with me. I did. It was glorious. I love doing these things. I will actually be doing one of these magic classes every month here within the group. I don't want sign-ups or anything like that. You're here in the group with me. What I might be setting up, though, is probably set up a chat bot just so that I can send messages for those who have said that they wanted to join in, so that I can just send you, hey, I'm on live now, just a quick message or reminder. If that's not too invasive, I won't use Messenger for being a pain in the neck. But I think that's what it will do, because a lot of people can sometimes tend to forget as well. Jenny, I'll send you a message, or if you can send me a friend request as well, and we can get your Coach Rescue Kit hooked up. So you'll need to book in some time with me, and we will do that, look at yours. And I'll also, once we've done our session as well, I'll then give you access to the Convert for Coaches program. That one is, I can't think off the top of my head. It is retails for around $347, but I do put it out on special at $78 at times. So if anyone wants to grab that Convert for Coaches kit as well, I think it's up for a nice, cool little $78 or something like that, really low at the moment. So let me know as well, and I can flick you that. But Jenny gets it for free. And of course, if anyone does want to talk to me about the Step in the Spotlight program, huge value. I cannot stress enough. And the people that have gone through this program, I will admit, not everyone, and I'll be the first to tell you, not everyone who goes through this program commits in the way I would like them to, or does the stuff that I would want them to, and then gets the results. But those that do get the results, they get on stuff, they build their name, they start to get known, they get their clients. So it does happen, and as I said, it's 6 months, make a huge difference to where you are now to where you will be by September, October, the end of the year. And I can tell you that a lot of people went through 2018 feeling quite down about the year. So if you've decided, I don't want another one of those, I would love to talk to you about the Step in the Spotlight program. It is actually one of my passion programs, this one. I love it. All right, let me get out of here. Let me just say a quick thank you. Thank you, Jenny. I'll look forward to yours. Hi, Maya. Hi for you too, dropping in as well. Neelam, sorry I didn't. It was really just a random one. I'm sorry. I would love to have talk to me about the Spotlight program if you are interested at all. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you so much. And message me if you want any information. I will put some more links in that into this as well. Bye for now.